Marco's here. That's always fun. Hello and welcome to the Cafe Nightly Show. I'm your host, The Goldsmith. It is the 17th of December, 2024. It is a Tuesday, and we have some announcements worth announcing. We do have a new mission that we do have every Tuesday, so the kind of mystery limited time mission kicked off today, running for the rest of the Wonderland season. Santa's Ledger, a new competition, new leaderboard competition, but it is an airdrop as well. There is a threshold, but the threshold's not defined. So it's kind of interesting. We'll get into the details that we do know, with the understanding that there are some details we don't. Wonderland ornaments. Again, we know we have ornaments that are officially dropped by Upland every season. And a few more things, a few more small things here to go over as well. We do have the weekly drop. Good to see you, Swally. The weekly drop of our cosmetics. So the cosmetics are dropping every Tuesday throughout the season of Wonderland, or the Wonderland season. If you had purchased and burnt a pass, a Wonderland pass or Wonderland Cosmetics pass, you are should be expecting every Tuesday to get that drop, which we did see today. We'll get into the details there. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I'll promote and go over this show this coming Saturday for the holiday extravaganza, something we do every year. But just remind people that it exists. Put some news out there. And again, just get ready for the new year, get ready for the end of this year, and looking forward to what's to come and what's coming up and what's to come for the new year here very shortly. But before we get into all of that, let's get the disclaimer out of the way. All of your opinions expressed by myself, mine and mine alone, should not be taken as game strategy or financial advice. They represent the game of the team of Upland. Any guests or contributors who we do have on have their own opinions. They are welcome to them. Should we take as game strategy or financial advice? I represent myself, the Goldsmith of the Cafe Nightly Show. They represent the game or the team of Upland. So let's take a look at a couple of the announcements. Again, the first and the easiest and the biggest and the most confusing all at once. Again, one of the easiest to go over because the announcement is relatively deep in breadth, but not entirely there. We're missing something. Let's get into it. Go over a couple opinions or a couple thoughts on this, given that it is a little bit of a focus that is continuous, and it is something that is driving, and it is something that we are kind of being pushed on again and again, and it's something that we kind of continue to caution on, and that is obviously it is an incentive contest specifically for USD purchases. We know that USD purchases often, or many of them often, favor the game of Upland as opposed to peer-to-peer marketing. Markets, kind of distracts or takes away some activity and energy from the UpX markets, which, again, we can talk about where UpX markets set, but that is where some people are playing the game. That is where some people are enjoying the game of Upland or entering the game of Upland. But yes, there are two markets: the UPX and the UPX and the USD market. And the USD market is what is being encouraged here, and it is something that there is a significant amount of UpX, significant amount of Sparklet that is up for grabs. We'll get into the details here, but let's get into the announcement first. Have you been waiting for the perfect time to snag that dream property, landmark, or one-of-a-kind car? Well, now's your chance. From the 17th of December, which happens to be today, through January 1st at 9 a.m. PT, every USD purchase you make qualifies you for a massive 500,000 Sparklet airdrop. Again, a share of a 500,000 UpX, 500,000 Sparklet airdrop. Be clear, it is only a share of it. It is not the full 500,000 Sparklet. No one's getting that payout. Don't miss out. Start making those purchases and claim those rewards. Again, this is secondary and primary, so we can say that the USD market typically is something that Upland's using to sell, to sell new products, to sell sales, to sell bundles. But this is a monitor, or this is a leaderboard that is keeping track of what is happening in the secondary market as well as the primary, aka it doesn't necessarily mean you're buying from Upland. It just means that you're buying on the USD market using your account with fiat, and again, purchasing purchasing either from the game of Upland, from Meta Ventures, from people directly on the market. Let's take a look at some of the details here. Again, this already started today, the 17th of December. It's running through the 1st of January at 9 a.m. PT. Every USD transaction you make in Upland earns you a spot on that leaderboard. It helps push you up on the leaderboard. And those on the top of the leaderboard will be getting an airdrop for 500,000 Sparklet tokens, or again, a portion of that airdrop, 500,000 Sparklet tokens. How are you going to participate? Any USD purchase counts, whether you are buying directly from the UPX store or picking up some properties, vehicles, or more on the secondary market. The more you spend, the bigger your share of the prize pool. Now, here is what's really important. To keep things fair, individual rewards will be capped at $1,000 worth of Sparklet tokens. A special leaderboard will display the names of players who qualify for the prize pool. If your name is on the board, you're in. If it's not, you're not qualified. Rest assured, your spending details remain completely private. The leaderboard will only show qualification status, not how much you've spent. We're committed to making this event enjoyable and fair to everybody. All transactions will be monitored closely, and any attempt to game the system will result in immediate removal from the leaderboard with no opportunity to appeal. Again, there have been some of these leaderboard contests where people said, oh, it's about activity. It's not about real gross out of pocket. It's not about the difference between what I spend and what I hold. And I don't have to hold things for a long period of time. I just have to do that transaction. So they would make the transaction, they'd make the purchase, and immediately they would sell. And they'd make the purchase, and immediately they'd sell. To be fair, you're going to be spending a lot on those transaction fees. But if you're trying to game the system for a significant prize, that's been something people have been willing to pay those transaction fees. And ultimately, that's against the rules. That is against the spirit of what the competition is, and that is going to get you disqualified. So keep that in mind. Not only are you paying all those fees again and again and again to do this type of a wash method, you're also going to be disqualified from the prize to begin with. For instance, transactions that involve buying and selling items back and forth between players. Here we go. That wash cycle are coordinated activities among groups to manipulate spending will be flagged and result in removal from the leaderboard. Keep your purchases clean. Make sure that you're going to be transparent and clear, and keep them above board to avoid any issues. What does this mean? This means that if you buy a property from Timmy and you sell it back to Timmy, and then Timmy sells it back to you, and then you sell it back to Timmy, you're probably not going to be doing very well on the leaderboard. You're probably going to be kicked off it. If you have a property that you buy for $40 from Timmy, you sell it to Sue for $40. Sue sells it back to Timmy for $40. Timmy sells it back to you for $40, and you do a little triangle. That's also trying to manipulate the game, the leaderboard, by having that false activity. That's what the team is going to pick up on. That is also going to be flagged. That is also not going to qualify as a leaderboard entry. You're not going to be earning any Sparklets. So watch out, play fair, buy things you plan to keep, sell things to make USD yourself, and then spend that USD and buy more things if that's what you choose to do. And I do want to say if that's what you choose to do, because I will point out and push out there that some of these contests become very expensive very fast. If you are buying just to qualify for a contest, the prize may not exceed your cost of participation. And if you're buying something just to do well in the contest and you have no joy you're getting from that purchase, you have nothing you plan to do with that property you just purchased, and maybe you bought it over market because the conditions of a contest can sometimes rise the floor or rise a market, and what you can sell that property for or that asset for after the contest may be lower than what you purchased it for. So all of these things considered, this is something that is nice to prop up the secondary market. It is nice that there is a reward for the people who are spending, the people who are choosing to participate in extra activity at this time to win some Sparklet. Just keep in mind that You're not being guaranteed a specific amount. You may spend everything that you're comfortable spending and find out that there's other people who are very much more comfortable spending a higher amount just because they can, or they sold a bunch of their properties into USD, were able to spend that money to qualify here to buy more things in USD. This is something that is going to be a reward for the people who are big spenders. Obviously, putting that cap on there, $1,000 worth of sparklet cap, is going to mean that you're not going to have one or two people run away with the majority of that 500,000 sparklet total airdrop. Because again, I could see this type of contest going that way. There are people with much deeper pockets than others. I could see them taking 80% of the pool, 3 people taking 80% of the pool. The cap is designed to limit that. Why Santa's Ledger Bash? This event is a way of wrapping up the year on a high note and to say thank you to everyone who supports both the primary and the secondary USD markets. Yes, there are 2 markets, UPX and USD. The USD market obviously has its own rate of activity. It has some different players than the people who are exclusively on the UPX side. And depending on what we're talking about on that market, it could be more active at one time of year than the other. It could be more active for one type of asset or item than the other. But ultimately, there are still people who are participating in it. Those who do, myself included, those who do, this is your chance to cash in, get a small reward along the way. We have had airdrop after airdrop since Sparklet's been out. This is another version of an airdrop. Your participation helps grow the Upland economy and the community, and we're excited to give back in a big way. So don't wait. If there's something you've had your eye on, now is the time to make your move. Every purchase brings you closer to claiming your share of the Sparklet airdrop. Happy hunting, Uplanders, and good luck. And then I want to say something else here that's obvious, and it should be. Upland is going to have additional USD sales between now and the 1st of January. Them having new USD sales, this incentivizes people to purchase on those USD sales. It kind of has their eyes open. Oh, this is a good time to purchase in USD. I have a potential additional reward for doing so. With a flag on the play is the last couple USD sales. If you ask me, if you ask the market, they were overpriced. They were overpriced because there was a UPX equivalent. Upland sold them at USD, very close to the UPX equivalent, with the idea of bundles and randomization tied in, and the ideas of bundles and randomization, it wasn't scaled the right way. The value of the of the pool, of the asset pool and the bundles was concentrated on a couple items. It was a very small percentage of what people would overall get, and then we still saw the value of those limited items be kind of extrapolated throughout the entire sale, where people are paying a lot more than one would expect for the more common items that were in the bunches. Specifically, if we go back and take a look right now, the MV Motors Series T, less than half of those sold. They've been for sale for a couple weeks. The MV Motors Series 1, 81 of 100 of those are left. Yeah, if you look at the dollars and the cents, you look at the secondary market, there is a secondary market available here. Again, where the price point seems to have been a little high on the USD side, but there is a silver lining. The silver lining is because we had this on the market for people to have an option to go and see and purchase if they chose to do so, it also opened their eyes to the secondary market, which is priced significantly below these two sales. If Upland's going to be doing sales in USD, maybe the sales in USD are going to be priced at a good price point, actually priced to the market when they're listed. And if they are priced to the market, then that'd be an opportunity for people to buy things, whether it is cars or map assets or potentially one of these property bundles with bundles that people want to have that include terminals, that include landmarks. Or if Upland lists a bundle at a really high price, or seems to be a high price, a limited discount between the UPX and the USD side, we could also see that encouraging people to buy more on the secondary. So kind of a win-win in a way, but also it really is this opportunity that is kind of shut off for a whole portion of Uplanders this is for people who are willing to and able to spend USD this time. Not everyone is in that position, but I do have to kind of put the caveat out there. There's a lot in the game of Upland that's not for everybody. There's people who do race. There's people who don't race. There's contests specifically on racing. There is building contests. Not everybody has as much spark as everybody. So in a game of Upland, the grand scheme of things, this is just another example of the broad tent. There's a lot of people that are in the tent. Not everybody is going to be doing the same activity, or not every leaderboard contest is for everybody in the game of Upland. So easy enough. Keep your eyes out for that. I do expect Upland to put a number of USD sales out. This is going to help encourage or help incentivize those sales as they come through. Wonderland ornaments. Ha! Look at that. Talk about USD sales. Want to add a little more style to your property this Wonderland season? Fantastic. We have an array of fantastic designs to complement the building you are currently building with your Spark. Ooh-wee. Look at this. I do want to put some notes out right up front. Well, we'll couch them. We'll get them in a little later. These ornaments are truly one of a kind and can only be placed in unique Tokyo townhouse structure. Oh, the unique Tokyo townhouse structure. So limited structure opportunity here. That's A. And B, let's take a look at the sale here, as well as recently released limited time structures in Upland. This makes them not only rare, but also an extra unique addition to your Upland experience. Well, it means that you can buy these structures, buy these ornaments, only have them in a limited area. Ultimately, that means that you have less utility out of them, even though this is rare. It's kind of nice that you have a structure ornament that's going to fit these unique structures, these structures that other ornaments don't fit. But it means that you have limited option for those structure ornaments that exist. The sale starts tomorrow, the 18th at 9 a.m. PT. Registration is currently open. There are a total of 200 of these ornaments. Prices are between $14 and $18. So there are some unique structures that are in Tokyo. Of those unique structures, you are going to be able to, have this structure right here for the unique structures that were put out with Tokyo when Tokyo was released. And then these cozy holiday structures, they have their own ornaments, again, specific to Tokyo here. And these are to the holiday season structure ornaments. We have these three other designs. Don't miss out on your chance to grab these limited edition ornaments and make your property shine. Pricing, $14 to $18. Oh, I remember the days that, it makes you sound old, but I do remember the days when Upland would put out these structural ornaments sales in UPX. We know that UPX at this point, there are uses for it, primarily for minting properties. We do see that most of the sales that Upland is doing are direct into USD. It is what it is. Again, we'll continue to see it. Support Upland in having to make money in order to continue the game running. But ultimately, we have this in-game token that has less and less use. So we'd like to see some more minting opportunities, especially when we talk about there's less use case for new cities. Upland specifically retired a bunch of properties or locked a bunch of properties in cities that had been unminted for a long period of time. With that action, obviously they are taking note of the amount of properties needed to be available for minting to sustain long term, which means that they probably are going to slow down things as far as how many properties they put out in the future, which means less minting opportunities. Obviously, that's what we have left for UpX for the most part is minting opportunities and the secondary market and UGC. And that's where I want to go when I say user-generated content. You can still buy things in UpX if you choose to do so. We make earnings on properties we continue to hold in UpX for dividends. So what do you do with those dividends? Well, what you could do with those dividends is buy some structure ornaments in UPX from a UGC content creator. There are plenty of Wonderland ornaments that are out there right now. Get decorated for the season. You can even use some of those in Tokyo to participate in the structure ornament contest that's ongoing there. These ornaments, again, because this is specific to the Tokyo structure, it's one that's going to be something that other people aren't going to be able to make. So that's something key and note worth doing. And again, this is something that we do recommend, that if you want to participate in purchasing on the USD side, know there's a slight reward to the leaderboard. But other than that, setting that aside, if you want to participate in the holiday season and you want to say, yes, it is Wonderland season, you're going to find ornaments that look more Wonderlandy than the ones that we see right here. Again, these are supposed to be of the season. They're supposed to be kawaii. And I'm looking at these ornaments, and I'm seeing the structure, the build of this idea that you have a platform and a crane. It's kind of cute. You've got some different colors here. They are associated with different structures, but it's ultimately a very similar, this structure is in construction type ornament. It doesn't tie to Wonderland season. It doesn't really scream kawaii too much. I think that this is one of those things where Upland made an ornament for the sake of, or made a structural ornament for the sake of making a structural ornament. It is a season. It is a holiday season. It makes sense to have it out, or a season of the year. Every season has their own structural ornaments, but it just doesn't feel like it ties to the time of year we're in. It doesn't say snow. It doesn't say, it doesn't scream, hey, there's a bunch of holidays that are happening this time of year. And it doesn't even say kawaii that much, which is the theme of this season. So buy them if you like them. If you like them, more power to you. $14 to $18, sale tomorrow, 9 a.m. PT, and check the UGC out. Check on your local friendly MetaVenture. Structure ornaments are out there. People do have multiple designs approved, and now we have multiple years worth. So if you are thinking about getting a structure ornament to decorate a structure that you have in Tokyo or anywhere in the game of Upland, other places in Upland aren't going to compete in the structural ornament contest this season, but if you want to decorate for the season, there are years worth of ornaments that are out there. You can buy them at your friendly structural ornament shop. So definitely do take a look and see what's out there on the secondary market. And if you choose to buy in USD, those will also count towards your leaderboard contest ongoing. Let's see, guys, some comments flying up here. Hi, Zarina. Good to see you. Note there from Blue, buy from my showroom in San Francisco. I think there's a lot of showrooms out there, but Blue does have one in San Francisco. For the mission, does it count if you've already staked 200 Spark hours in Tokyo for the ongoing mission? We'll get to the mission in just a minute, and that is a question worth questioning. WWDog, good to see you. Upland is prioritizing its own profits over the actual ability of players to be able to play the game and to play to earn. The constant buy this gimmicks is real turn off. I do understand the point. The USD side on the sales, again, it's not even that there are USD sales. It's not even that there's so many USD sales. I would say my argument is more about the limitation of the UPX sale. And, if we're not having new cities come out and we're having less focus on mintable properties, that's why we locked a bunch of mintable properties. It does become a question of where do we want to spend that UPX? How does that UPX get spent? What's the right thing to do with UPX? Does it differentiate the USD and the UPX market even further? If there's fewer sales that you can actually use the UPX on, why am I continuing to work in the UPX market if everything that Upland's going to put out is going to be in USD? It's a question, but really properties still are primary in UPX, and they will continue to be primary in UPX. We will continue to see the UGC market to function in UPX as well as USD. And if people are selling in UPX, that means they'll have more UPX to go and spend on minting properties. So there is a reason to have the UPX, but I would love to see more of a market for map assets. Again, do a 50-50. Do a percentage in UPX, a percentage in USD, or do a sale that's in USD. 3 months later, do one in UPX. Whatever the case is, do rotation, do both markets, support both markets, make them both make sense. Swally saying they agree on with Blue here. Upland may have cut out UGC for their own profits. Makes me sick, but what can we do? No, it's again, that make me sick maybe a little too far, Swally, but yeah, it is two markets. It is UGC is still there, and this is my argument. My argument is if the market continues to shift towards USD and Upland, if there's people who are willing to continue to participate in the UPX market, that's going to be the avenue of UGC. It's going to be UGC where you're going to buy that. If you want to spend UPX, have your budget, go and check on UGC, go and see what's available, go and see your friendly local MetaVenture. Many do sell in UPX as well. I've had some of my own shops that I've sold in UPX, seeing that other people in the market weren't selling UPX because I wanted more UPX for other things that I was doing in the game. Again, limited opportunity in what you're going to do with that UPX once you have it. But if MetaVentures keep selling an UPX, I earn my UPX by selling my MetaVenture. I can spend that UPX at other people's MetaVenture potentially. So check out your friendly neighborhood net MetaVenture when it comes to structural ornaments this time of year. There are many that have snow. There are many that have presents on the roof. There are many that have Santas. So there are opportunities to celebrate this time of year, the Wonderland season, the holiday season, in the way that you choose to do so. Wonderland ornaments, again, tomorrow, 9 a.m. PT. We do have the Wonderland gamified earnings, which Blue was asking about earlier. This Wonderland season's gamified earnings bonus mission is here. Tokyo Stakeout. Stake 200 Spark hours in Tokyo and shine the heart of this bustling global metropolis. So, Blue, no. 200 Spark hours that you had staked previously doesn't count. 200 Spark hours from when the mission started this morning, I believe at 9 a.m. forward, that will count. That's how this generally works. So the way Spark hours work, it's like watt hours, right? It is amount of work over a period of time. A spark is 1,000 sparklet, and the equivalent, if we're to say the 200 Spark hours, would either be 1 spark or 1,000 sparklet staked for 200 hours, or 20 sparklet, or 20 sparklet, 20 spark, aka 20,000 sparklet staked for 10 hours. Sorry, I got to do my math here, huh? 10 hours. So yes, I would say that anything moving forward from the 9 a.m. PT, you wouldn't have to had started the stake, but it would have to be staked and carried forward for the 9 a.m. PT to accumulate to an equivalent of 200 Spark hours. And keep in mind, Spark, not Sparklet, is the measure that Upland is using. This, again, is ongoing. We do see these new gamified earnings every Tuesday. The one that was added last week was Wonderland Whimsy. Collect 3 magical items from MetaVentures to brighten your Wonderland season. You just have to buy 3 items from MetaVentures. You do that, you get the check mark. We are on our second that we did have dropped this week. Again, stake 200 Sparklet Spark hours. Wow, 200 Spark hours. Not Sparklet hours, 200 Spark hours in Tokyo, and shine in the heart of this bustling global metropolis. Keep in mind that there is structure ornament contest there. If you finish a structure, you can put a structure ornament on it. Keep that in mind for the holiday season. Ongoing contest as of right now. Just a reminder on gamified earnings, the more earnings you complete, the more of a multiplier you have at the airdrop. Also, there are some thresholds here for earnings for your dividends. If you can complete 5, you do get a benefit. If you complete 12 or more, you get an additional benefit for doing so. Between 5 and 12, same benefit as completing 5. So if you're going to get 12, get 12. If you're going to get 5, get 5. If you're going to get less than 5, you're going to have a declining reward depending on how many of the gamified tasks you're able to complete during the season. Let's take a look at another piece here that kind of I look forward to. I do look forward to every Tuesday, and that is the game of that is the cosmetic drop every Tuesday. You do have to purchase and burn the past in order to do so. So let's take a quick look at what we are looking at for this week over in live updates. Drops every Tuesday, as I mentioned. Let's take a quick look at that video. Builder, creator, manufacturer, tycoon, burn 1, and get a drop through the season. property background, the Snowcap Club. We'll take a look at that when we look at where we're Upland. The festive pine as a add on your block score, and again, you do get the pass. Notice that we are dropping two cosmetic. Yeah, we're dropping 2 cosmetics each week in this season. Some seasons we get 3 and a single drop. We'll have to keep our eyes out. Maybe we'll get a couple weeks that will be the case. But let's take a look. Excuse me. Let's take a look at what these look like in Layer 1 Upland as of right now. So we do see that we had that overlay. The overlay is not animated like some of them are. Where are you? You're here somewhere. We'll find that in just a second. But let's take a look at that property background. Property card background. Where is that? There it is. All the way down the bottom. I knew we could find it. So property background, if we go take a look at our property backgrounds, we'll see. Get all the way back out and back out again. We'll see again, this is something that does show up on our own property cards. It'll show up for those who do choose to put it up on their properties, and it will be something. I'll go to a city where I have a ton of properties. I'll make it real easy. It is something that is a way of just essentially saying, hey, I've got this, but it is also a way of controlling what you're seeing as you are looking at your own properties. This is what we're looking at. Snow globe, see the colors in the background here. Kawaii. Kawaii is cute. It's generally tied to characters when we talk about Kawaii. This is very much Wonderland, though. This is very much a scene that would say this is the time of year, a little bit snowy. We do see all the pine trees. It's kind of fun to see this get represented. So again, I do like that it ties to Wonderland season. It's a pretty easy way to tie that into the season. I'm glad that again we have something that stands out. It doesn't look too bad. I do like the way it looks, and it is kind of celebrating the season as we have it. But do try to find these, and the problem is now that we have more and more overlays, it is harder and harder to find them when we go and look for them. I'm missing that pine cone altogether when I go and look. We still have that snow from frost season, which is kind of fun. Would be kind of nice for this time of year anyways. But not find that pine cone in a very easy way. Is that it there? Did we find it? There we go. Pine cone over in the corner, but guess what? It gets covered. It is being covered at this time. When I look there, when I look over here by my badges, again, we had this realignment and try to have a realignment of where badges are sitting, where our collection markers are sitting, and unfortunately right now they're sitting in the lower left-hand corner, which is where this widget ends up sitting in the corner. So unfortunately missing that, I'm not able to see that, but that is the pine cone that is the cosmetic drop this week. I do want to jump into the comments because I am seeing them. This is X1 jumping in, obviously member of the team. Chief of all of the moderators for the team. So let's take a look. Addressing chat. At Zarina's guy, this is incorrect. Our focus is continuing to be entire year has been UGC for Upland. Seasonal ornament challenges focus on promoting UGC market. The decor challenge, which will be regular. Okay, focus on the UGC. Not to mention various UGC contests on top of streamline the UGC process. Proud to say the amount of UGC items created and approved each month has grown exponentially over the last year, month to month. UGC is an initiative and a focus for us, and will continue to be in 2025. I think. Suggested otherwise would be false. Again, the two markets between the USD and the UPX, it does keep some people out of participating when we do have these sales that keep being in USD. As I mentioned, again, kind of the same thing that X1's saying. If anything, if you want to purchase in UPX, you kind of have to purchase UGC. If you want to continue to participate in the game fully and buy this map asset or that map asset, well, keep in mind, Upland's typically selling those when they sell them in USD. So you're going to be buying them either from a UGC artist or from on the secondary in a meta venture, and that's the way it feels that many of these sales are going. There still is a UGC process. Again, people have been hoping for and waiting for that to become even more streamlined. There's some technological advances to come, and I don't know if I were to have a member of the team on a show later this week. Maybe they have something in to talk about. Maybe they just want to talk about this season, because that would be my transition if we were there yet. But do want to touch two more things before we get there. But we will have the show this coming Saturday at 6 p.m. PT. Again, holiday extravaganza, opportunity to look back on the year a little bit, opportunity to look forward, but ultimately to celebrate the year, celebrate the time of year, be able to do some giveaways, contests, have some guests, and essentially just celebrate that this is a time of year that people get together and have fun. And again, you can look back on the previous year, 2024. You can look forward to the future year, 2025, but ultimately we can celebrate everything that's going on in the holiday season for players themselves, but also for the game, but also for the world. And it's going to be fun because we're going to have car races, we're going to have random giveaways, and I can announce I've got to stop sharing screen so I can open another screen and share an image. And the image is a giveaway of coming from official Upland. We don't always get these, but when we get them, they're nice. This is the Upland supporting, in this case, supporting independent people or independent in the Upland sphere. And this is a block explorer that Upland is making 25 of. 10 of them will be given away this coming Saturday, 6 p.m. PT, and many other things as well. Prizes again. There's going to be carts and giveaways and structure ornaments and structure ornaments made by UGC for the holiday season. Isn't that nice? But many other prizes. Again, cards galore. There's some properties in there. There's going to be some map assets. A lot of UGC, because we do celebrate UGC. We do like to see what's continuing to develop, and it's an opportunity. Yes, there are prizes. It's an opportunity also to support the manufacturers, to support the designers, to tell you where you can buy these assets. So yes, there are some sponsored prizes. There are some opportunities to get your eyes on what's out there in the market. But we also have some giveaways that, again, are entirely out there for the purpose of joy and smiles. And here is one. 10 of these block explorers will be given away this Saturday, a total of 25, making it a relatively rare block explorer. And the note on rare block explorers, as a reminder, with that collector leaderboard, the more rare a block explorer is, the more points it may have. The older it is, this is brand new, the older it is, the more points it's going to have with it. If it has a low mint number, if it's mint number 1 or 2, it's going to have some more points associated with it. So one block explorer, one rare block explorer is not going to make your collectors count. But if you are somebody who's collecting block explorers, you are going to be looking for those ones that are more rare. They're going to help with your collecting score. If you are collecting block explorers, you're going to look for those number 1 mints, those number 2 mints. They're going to help your collector score more. And at this time of year, I can kind of put the little pin and say, we know that we're about to have that collector score leaderboard go live. It hasn't gone live yet. It is later in the day on Tuesday. We are partway through that contest, knowing that is run through the end of this season. So I'd love to see that leaderboard sooner rather than later. And maybe that would be enough for people to say, hey, I want to get this or that or the other thing through the holiday season. And maybe that is supplemental or helps encourage people towards the USD sale, or the USD sale helps encourage people, the leaderboard, the airdrop helps encourage people towards, collecting more of this block explorer, because now's the right time to buy it. Now you are affecting yourself on potentially 3 or 4 leaderboards, getting different points for, again, the USD sale, getting different points for your collector's badge. And then ultimately, if you are trying to just move around assets, you have the opportunity to say, I have this now. Again, there's some prestige that goes along with it. And ultimately, that collector score is more about prestige than it is anything else. And there are people who care about that. So that is something that you could focus on, but you can also get the reward for having purchased in USD as well. Let's take a look. And again, as I do put that back down, take a look at a reminder that we are headed towards the middle part of the Wonderland season. Couple things on that. If you haven't yet decorated a structure ornament in Tokyo, if you haven't yet done and put up a structure ornament for the season, put one up and leave it up for 21 days by the end of the season, and we're almost there. We're almost at that cutoff. We'll be getting there very shortly. So do get a structure ornament up for holiday season, for the Wonderland season, if you haven't done so yet. That is one of the gamified tasks. It is something that is nice to be able to go ahead and just see streets get all decorated, to be able to go down and be treasure hunting and see the structure ornament with the Santa hat on, and see the snow on the roof of another structure ornament. So it's kind of fun. And that would be my argument as well of why it's nice to celebrate Wonderland season during Wonderland season. So when we're looking at these structures, that they have that look, they have that feel, they remind you of what time of year it is. I will read a comment here. Again, this is back from X1s during a guides calling out. You definitely did see our previous comment. Happy holidays, or happy to take comments off and to improve things. Again, comments aside, again, there are a couple instances here with the balance between the way these contests run and the markets, but ultimately, that's the biggest thing I can say when we talk about the UGC market, is I want to see them be successful. I really hope that the team is there as well. I know the team has some other things as far as supporting the UGC market. Love to streamline that process. Love to see it easier. But this coming Saturday, look at that, plug right back in. This coming Saturday, 6 p.m. PT. That's what the focus is. The focus is giving away assets or celebrating the designers of these assets on the UGC side. Have some fun along the way. Have some guests. I can announce, I guess, it's semi-official. X1 will be able to make it in this Saturday. Fingers crossed. Everyone has schedules, and hopefully maybe be able to go over just a year that we've had, and what we're looking forward to next year, and some of the milestones potentially that have gone along the way, but also just season's greetings and happy holidays for those who are celebrating one holiday or another this time of year. Do you want to remind people as well, structure ornament contest is ongoing in Tokyo. That means if you do have structure ornaments, they are for the holiday season, they are for the Wonderland season, you're going to want to have them up in your Tokyo properties that you have built now. If you are not currently building structures in Tokyo, if you haven't been, there is that extra incentive that was dropped today. The gamified mission of 200 Spark hours completed between now and the end of the month, or the end of the season, for constructing or having Spark hours staked in the city of Tokyo. Two reminders on that. A, those are Spark hours. That's 1,000 Spark let, not Sparklet hours. And again, it's over time, so you have to have a certain amount of Spark staked over a period of time to count accumulatively towards that 200 Spark hours. And then the other thing, obviously, on this is this does run to the end of the season, so if you can't do it this week, you can do it next week. But if you can do it this week, if you complete some structures, you can decorate those going towards the end of the season structure ornament contest for Tokyo. We will be looking forward to a couple other things as we head into the end of the season. I think it's official now, so I can say I know that Too Stupid to Win, as he has historically. We did one last year together. He's doing a little bit of the same thing. Other holiday shows going on this year as well, as we head towards the end of the year. So definitely something to keep your eyes out on. Looking forward to this time of year, looking forward to the season. We do see things tend to get interrupted a little bit from the game of Upland. Don't be surprised if we go days without announcements, because people are all on vacation. It is holidays. People are out of work. A lot of people are out of work, and they get to put more time in Upland. but then see that they don't get any announcements because, the team's on holiday as well. But for tonight, I just am looking forward to this coming Saturday. If you have anything that you are trying to promote, if you have a meta venture, if you have assets out, reach out to me, let me know. There are some opportunities to get some assets in as giveaways and prizes, and ultimately otherwise, we do have some guests lined up to go over projects that they're working on the game of Upland. So for tonight, thank you so much for being here. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT. Tuesdays and Fridays, we are in the Upland Plaza. Monday through Friday, we're in on Discord, on Twitter, and on YouTube as well. So thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing everybody Saturday, 6 p.m. PT, getting things started. Again, YouTube, Twitter, but big news, or big first time we can ever do it, we will be having broadcast in Layer 1 Upland in the theater, Left House Theater in San Francisco. Kind of gives the opportunity to have your avatar in a 3D space, but it will also be live recorded for the sake of rewatch, but live recorded for the sake of keeping track of who's in the room for random giveaways. Some random giveaways specific to being in Layer 1 Upland in the theater, Left House Theater in San Francisco. So for tonight, thank you so much for being here. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT. Feel free to join us, and I'll looking forward to seeing you all on Saturday.